A silent reset with loud consequences. It wasn't a policy update. It wasn't announced with a press release. It was a silent, sweeping reset. Since August 1st, the immigration system hasn't just been updated, it's been fundamentally reprogrammed from within. Green card holders, visa applicants, and future citizens are waking up to a system they barely recognize anymore. The rules haven't just changed. The expectations have been raised. Every form, every record, and every answer now matters more. And if you're still operating like it's 2023 or even early 2025, you're already behind the curve. One system, one standard, and no more leeway. USCIS field offices now operate under a single, unified adjudication system for family-based and humanitarian green cards. This new system uses identical guidelines, tools, and manuals, reducing inconsistencies between offices but removing officer discretion. That means no more leniency, no more second chances, and no more gray areas that used to buy time. Documentation must now be complete, consistent, and aligned with every policy reference in the USCIS internal manual. Cases that once passed with reasonable explanations or borderline evidence are now being flatly denied without warning. Marriage petitions now face AI-level scrutiny. Marriage-based green card petitions are under the sharpest microscope ever, powered by AI cross-checking and DHS database integration. USCIS now investigates relationship patterns using historical data, travel logs, and digital communications to detect suspicious inconsistencies. Interviews have doubled in length and now include granular questions about relationship timelines, living arrangements, and daily routines. Weak translations, vague histories, or photos that don't tell a clear chronological story can immediately trigger suspicion. If your evidence feels good enough, it's not. Close enough no longer counts. Exactness is now the standard. Green card renewals no longer routine. Filing Form I-90 used to be a simple process. Pay the fee, wait, and get your card. But starting August 21st, that process has been fundamentally changed and now mirrors a fresh immigration screening. Old fees are being rejected outright, and applicants must now follow a new form, new structure, and updated chart. Worse, renewals are now treated as mini investigations, especially for those with past travel, criminal, or benefit complications. Biometric rechecks are now common, and even basic applications may be flagged for in-person interviews without prior warning. Naturalization, the bar just got higher. The naturalization journey was already long. Now, it's being redefined with tighter scrutiny and new evaluation procedures. Continuous presence is now confirmed using detailed exit-entry logs, even those from CBP or airline-generated data reports. Any unexplained absence abroad, even short, can reset your eligibility timeline or raise red flags during review. Officers now ask questions about school records, employment consistency, and tax compliance in much greater depth than before. Even the English test is no longer basic. Civic comprehension questions are now part of standard evaluation protocols. Interview rules return with full force. Starting September 2nd, 2025, USCIS will reinstate mandatory interviews for nearly all major non-immigrant visa categories. This change ends the COVID-era Dropbox system that allowed visa renewals without in-person visits to U.S. consulates. F, H, L, J, O, and M visa applicants must now schedule full interviews, regardless of prior approval history. Consulates are already bracing for a backlog, and early applicants report available slots filling months in advance. This means fall travelers, students, and workers must act now or risk delays that could derail their plans. Tax records are now immigration records. Tax history has quietly become a central part of the immigration vetting process, especially for green card and N-400 cases. USCIS now routinely requests transcripts, W-2s, and even explanations for amended returns during interviews and document requests. Immigration attorneys report an uptick in RF fees tied to gaps in income, unfiled years, or mismatched employment histories. Applicants without clean, consistent tax filings face delays, rejections, or worse, referrals for fraud investigation or denial. Filing taxes late or inaccurately can now directly affect your ability to renew status or adjust to citizenship. Digital USCIS portal launches, but glitches persist. USCIS officially rolled out its upgraded online portal with the promise of faster uploads, real-time tracking, and easier evidence submission. But early users report widespread glitches, locked accounts, missing receipts, and documents failing to upload or save properly. Applicants are advised to use the portal, but also to maintain hard copies and physical mail backups of every filing. In some cases, digital-only users missed deadlines due to system lags, resulting in denials for otherwise valid applications. Until the platform stabilizes, treat it as supplemental, not your sole method of submission or communication with USCIS. Public benefits, not illegal but risky. While the public charge rule remains unchanged, long-term use of government benefits can still trigger additional scrutiny. Emergency aid is typically fine, but chronic Medicaid use or housing support spanning multiple years can raise serious flags. Officers are asking deeper benefit-related questions during interviews and expect full disclosure with corresponding official documentation. Failure to mention benefits or appearing to hide usage often triggers suspicions and deeper background investigation. Transparency, even about uncomfortable details, now builds more trust than silence or incomplete declarations ever could. The fraud lens is always on. Every case, whether marriage, employment, or asylum, is now being reviewed through a fraud prevention lens by default. The new USCIS approach assumes nothing at face value. Every claim must be independently verified through documents or databases. Even slight inconsistencies, like incorrect dates, non-matching addresses, or unusual travel gaps, can prompt full case reviews. Applicants must now prepare as if their case will be challenged, even if it appears straightforward on paper. In 2025, the burden of proof is entirely on you, and USCIS is no longer accepting vague explanations. The 8 million green card bill, hope or distraction? A new Senate bill proposes green cards for undocumented immigrants who've lived in the U.S. since before 2015. This bill, while not yet law, is already influencing immigration conversations and pushing future reform narratives forward. If passed, it could reshape the landscape for millions, but for now, it's only a proposal on paper. Meanwhile, current legal immigrants are facing tightening rules with no parallel relief on their side of the system. That contradiction is fueling frustration, but it also reminds applicants to focus on the current law, not wishful policy. What you must do right now: if your green card expires within 18 months, begin your renewal immediately using the updated August 2025 requirements. If you're preparing for naturalization, double-check your physical presence history, tax filings, and any prior absences or returns. For new applications, review all documents for consistency, clarity, and proof, not just eligibility, before submission. Use the USCIS digital portal, but do not rely on it exclusively. Back up everything in 2 formats, always. Finally, do not underestimate interviews. Prepare as if every detail of your life could be questioned and must match. Final thoughts. This is not about fear, it's about facts. The August 2025 reset didn't just add new steps, it raised the expectations across every level of the process. It's no longer enough to qualify. You must now prove that you qualify. Every document, every question, every line. The margin for error has shrunk, and the risk of denial is now tied directly to how well you're prepared. But that doesn't mean it's impossible. Organized, informed applicants with clean records and solid evidence still succeed. If you stay early, exact, and honest, this new system can still work for you, not against you.
Like our video? Subscribe and comment to stay updated at US Immigration Hub.